All right, so let's move to our different topic now that will be securing the Cisco ISE via GUI and CLI. So I'll go back to the Cisco ISE. So first we will look into the GUI. So this is what your web interface. So I will go back to my administrator and I will go back to the system and I should see an option called as admin access. So now in the admin access, it will ask you for the admin authentication type. So currently we are using the password base and it is the internal database. And the password policy, so if you want to change any password policy, you can change over here. So by default, there are some policies being check marked. So that means these are the conditions you have to meet in order to create a password. Account disability, I'm not disabling the account. So, but basically in the production, you have to enable that one, disable account after so and so days of inactivity. So if the administrator did not log in for the next 7 days, I want to disable the account. That's how I can do it for. And lock and suspend. If you want to suspend, take action after 3 failed attempts. So it is going to suspend your account if you have done the 3 failed login attempts. So it will give you 15 minutes of your account will be suspended for 15 minutes. Right, so if you want to change this option, you can change the option. Now coming to the authorization and within the permission in the menu access. Now currently you see that currently my role is a super admin menu access. That means I am able to access each and every tab and each and every option, menu option in this particular web interface. But if you want to assign certain roles to your administrator, so there will be a multiple administrators. So you want to assign the roles for the multiple administrators, you can assign the roles for these multiple administrators. Now these are for the menu access. Now again for the data access. So now for the data access, that means accessing the data of the endpoints, accessing the data of your backup, scheduling backup and all those things. So if you want to allow access to be given to particular administrator, you can select these role-based access. Now, role-based access policies. So by default, certain policies are being defined. So if you want to define a custom policies, then you can create a new policy for yourself. All right. So if I click on action, insert a new policy in the above. So basically, it will just give you the role name and you will select the admin group. And according to that one, you will select the permission. So basically, the permissions are here and the groups will be created, I think, in the administrator. Over here, you will create the admin group. And over here, you will create the admin user. And after that, in the authorization, you will define what kind of menu access you want to give to so and so users, and accordingly the policy. But by default, the policy has been set. So if you're using the inbuilt policies, that is inbuilt role-based access, you no need to create any new policies. So securing the access for the GUI. So currently I am a super admin. So what I will do, I will go to the admin group and by default, these are the admin groups. So I will make use of the default groups itself. So now I will make use of the monitoring and troubleshooting admin. So what I will do, I will go back to the user and I will create a new user, create a new admin. So I will say that name will be admin1. Okay, status will be enable. And the password, I will change it to Cisco0123. And I will re-enter the password. That should be Cisco0123. And after that, if you want to give more information, like this is the admin one. And description, if you want to give this admin is for monitoring. And I will select the group. So I will select the group as monitoring and click on submit. So I have created admin one with the monitoring and troubleshooting. So if I go back to the menu access and if I select the monitoring and admin menu, so it will show me that what kind of menus he can see. So ISE navigate structure. So I think it's still loading. Okay, you see that these many menus he can go. So within the home button, he can access the introduction, dashboard, context visibility, And within the context visibility, he's going to see all those things because he's doing the troubleshooting. So it's like a read-only access, not able to configure anything. So to demonstrate, you see that he is not able to configure the policies, not able to get the administrator tab. He cannot see and he cannot run the wizard or he cannot do any settings. So he's only able to do with respect to your troubleshooting. That's it. So now what I will do, I will go back and I will log out and I will log in with the admin1 user. And the password will be Cisco 0123. So now if I go back to the menus here, you see that I have only three options. I don't see the work administration option and the settings option. Well, it's like very limited. Within the work center also, I'm not able to create any wizard or not able to do any configurations. If I go to the operations, I can see only reports and all those things. Now, if I go back to the dashboard, so within the dashboard, again, the same thing. Since it is a read only, so everything you're able to see normally, all the things. So what I will go ahead and log out and I will log in with the admin password. So which is a super user. Now, just go back to the administrator and go back to the admin access. And here you can create a new group now. So I just want to show you that you can create the groups and all those things. So the group will be ISE admins. Okay, type external means you are going to define that external group, but since this one is the internal, and I will add the users. I will add the user admin1 to this particular group because I already have that user created. Click on submit. Now I can go back to the authorization and go back to the permission, go back to the menu options. Since he is using this one, so what I will click on add. I will create my custom ICE monitoring. So for that one, what I want to show him is that the home options, I want to show him the home options, and I want to show him the introduction. I want to show him the dashboard. In the context availability, I don't want to show him. With the operation, I want to show him that option. Within that option, again, I want to show him, I don't want to show him these, but I want to show him the reports. Within the radius, I want to show him the radius logs. I want to show him the radius sessions. That's all. So this is my custom one. So click on submit now. System error. Okay. Okay, I did not provide the name, I think. So I will select one more time. Show, introduction, show, dashboard also show, operation show. Within the operation, I want to show him the reports. I want to show him the radius, live logs, and the live sessions underscore monitoring. So I think the dashes are not allowed. So you have to use the underscore. Click on submit. So it's now saving. So what I will do, I will use this access and I will assign it to the admin one. So I will remove that monitoring one. So I will go back to the admin and the users. And I will go to the admin one, click on edit. And here now I will change this one to ICE admins. Now, I think roles. So that was a group. Okay. So let me go back to the groups. So that is been assigned. That's all good. So if I go ahead and create the user and I will edit that admin one, I should see that okay, it is asking me for the admin group. So over here it is asking the same thing. So I will just assign it to the admin ICE admin group first. That's all good. So basically, I have assigned it to multiple, so that's why it is assigning a particular user to the multiple group. So I have removed that one, so only one group, that is ICE admin. So now I will go to the authorization. I will go to the. I've already created the menu access. Now I will create a policy saying that uh, insert new policy will be ICE underscore admin, and the group will be, so whoever is in the ICE admin group, and I want to allow the access, permission should be given as a ICE monitoring. That's it. All right. So I created a policy saying that whoever the user belongs to the ICE admin group, ICE admin group, he should have only these access. So I will go ahead and I will save it. Now, before I used to see the home dashboard introduction, more options. Now I should see very less options. Those are, so I'm also not allowing the work center to be seen. So that means I should not see the work center option also. All right, let's go to the menu now. All right, so we'll go back to the menu and you see that I'm not able to see any other options. Before I used to see some other options like work centers and all those things. I can see only operation, and within this operation, I can see only these many things. That's it. So basically, that's how you will create the rules and you will authorize the access in the GUI. Now let's see about the CLI. So I will exit that one and I will open a new partition. Now I have created a new user known as admin1. So let me see in the CLI I'm able to log in or not. See that? So basically, I created that admin group only for the GUI, not for the CLI. So now for the CLI, you have to be very much careful because CLI, if you give access to the CLI, that means a user can do some changes and everything. And even though if you control, there are possibility that they can bypass the security, because access to the CLI means it's very dangerous. So you have to be careful. So recommended that one is that you authenticate user using the external ident identity server. So what I will do, I will go ahead and I will add my Active Directory first. So to add that one, I will go to administrator and I will go to the identities, external identity source. So on the left hand side, I should see the Active Directory. So I will click on Active Directory, click on add, and I will give a name that will be Sysable, and Active Directory domain name that should be sysable.com. So click on submit. And now it will ask me to, would you like to join that one? Click on yes. And it will ask you for the username and password. So I will say that administrator, and that should be Moise123 hash. So cross check your spellings and click on OK. Now, if your time is not synchronized properly, then you will have the time synchronization problem. So that's the reason I did not use my Windows server as the NTP server, but instead I have used the local NTP server. So that has been now completed. So click on close. And now you can see that that is been now operational. Now in that one, what I can do, I can download the group. So if you remember that I have already created the group called ICE admins. and I have added 2 users in that one too. So ICE admins, and I have added Moise and Rob within that particular group. So what I will do, I will now click on add, select the group from the directory, and just click on retrieve groups, and it should show you all the groups. So once you see all the groups, I don't want all the groups to be here. So what I will do, I would just select the specific group that will be domain user, domain ICE admins, and the administrator. So, okay. So here I do have the user domain admins. I'll select the domain computers, domain users, and I should also see the ICE admins. Over here, I can see the ICE admins. So click on OK and click on save. So it will download those group and the users in that one. Now let's secure the CLI. To secure the CLI, first we have to set up our users in the Active Directory. So currently in this Active Directory, they are in normal users. So we need to make certain changes in that one. So for that one, so navigate to your Active Directory users and computers. And from the view option, select advanced features. So once you select the advanced features, so we will go back to the users and we will go back to the particular user. So once you double click on that one, you should see this one now, the properties. So now after that, I should see one option known as attribute editor. So over here, I should see GID number. Over here, you see that GID number. So now in this GID number, if I set it to 110, that means I am giving full access for this user. If I set it to 111, that means I am giving only read-only access to the user. So what I will do 110 for Moise. And also I need to change the UID number. This one, UID number. I think this should be more than 60,000. So 60,001. Click on OK. Click on apply and OK. Now for the Rob, I will do the same thing. Go to the attribute editor and I will select the GID number. And for him, I will give him 111. It's a read only. And UID number should be 60,002. So once that has been done, so let's take an access to the putty now. So in the putty is1.sysable.com admin, first I will log in with the super user because we have to now, I have integrated the Active Directory on the GUI with the with respect to the web browser. Now I have to initiate a command inside the CLI in order to join for the CLI also. Now for that one, I will first go to config T. I will say identity store Active Directory. Domain name will be sysable.com. So I will just make it bigger. Domain.com and new admins. I think that should be ICE admins group name and user will be Moise. And click on enter. So it's giving me some problems. So let's see what is that one. So Active Directory, domain name, configure a domain name, sysable. I think there shouldn't be a okay, invalid command. Identity store, Active Directory. Okay, domain name. After domain name, it should be sysable.com. And after that, it should be, okay, so now domain name is sysable.com, user will be Moise, and that should be. Now, if the domain sysable.com is already joined via UI, then you must rejoin the domain sysable.com from the UI after this configuration. Until the rejoin happens, authentication to sysable.com will fail. So it's asking me to, after doing this, initiating this command, it is asking me to rejoin that Active Directory in the web browser also. So I will say, yes, I want to proceed. And click on enter. Password for Moise will be capital S, small b, 12345. Fail to join the domain, please check the credentials. So that means identity store, Active Directory domain name will be, here I should be given ISE admins and user should be Moise. And I will select yes. Oh boy. Please check the credentials or time synchronization between ICE node and AD. I think I don't have any issues with the do show clock. So if you see that the clock is 12:58 and 12:58, 25, 25, that's all good. All right, so this is also giving me a trouble. So let me do one more thing. So identity store Active Directory domain name will be sysable sysable.com. User will be Moise. Okay, first of what I will do, I will add the super user also for this particular. So let me create a user first, and I will go ahead and create a user with admin and admin. Click on next. Password should be moise123 hash and moise123 hash, and click on next and finish. So I'm just creating a super user, so I will define that super user in that admin. So I will add to group and I will select the ICE admins and add it to the group ICE admins. I will go back to the ICE admin members and I should see admin over here. All good. Now double click on that one. I will go to the attribute and I will change that one same. So GID number that should be 110 and the UID number should be 60,003. Apply. Okay. And now what I will do is that instead of a domain name, I will select ICE admins and I will say user will be admin and I want to authenticate. It will ask me for the password. Okay, it should be asking me the password. Admin, yes, Moise123 hash. Fail to join, please check the credentials. Why it is giving me. I will do one thing, I will just delete this one first and I will try once again with the CLI. Okay. All right. So what I will do is that I think the firewall is on, so that's the reason it might not be adding up. So I will just shut down the firewall. I will go to the Windows firewall and I will try once again off. So this one is off, and public also off. Apply. Okay, okay. And I will just give it a try this one more time. The same problem. Okay, let me troubleshoot that one and I will get back to you. All right, so I followed the Cisco guide and they said that they have to wait at least 5 minutes before I do that one. So once again, I will go to Identity Store, Active Directory, domain name, which is sysible.com, and the user will be admin. And I will say yes. And you see that it says that already been joined. So I just tried to join that one and it was successful over here. So joined to domain sysible.com successfully. After 5 minutes, I did try once and it says that already been joined to the domain name sysible.com. Please leave the current domain and rejoin. So nothing to worry. Click on exit and exit. And now again, what I will do is that I will go to Putty and I will take is1.sysible.com. So in that sysible.com, there is a user group which name is Moise and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you see that I got the access of. Now, since Moise is a super user, so he should be able to do the configuration also. Okay. So he should be able to do the configuration also. I will do exit and exit, and I will take the Rob one, which is the read-only access. I will say Rob and that should be verified. So Rob should not be able to configure anything. You see that? It's a read-only access and it's showing you only Automac. So if I say enable, no. If I say config T, no. If I say show, yes. Show application status ICE, he can, okay, show. And these are the only options he can do. He is not even able to see the features which are running also. So show clock. So this is how you will be securing your Cisco ISE via the GUI as well as the CLI. But the CLI is very much important. It should be, you have to make sure that it is authenticating from the external identity source. As you can see that in this session, I don't have any internal user which says that it is a Moise or Rob. So if I go back to the ICE and if I go to the administrator, go back to the identities, I don't have any users over here. And if I go back to the admin access, and if I go to the administrator and admin users, I don't have any users with Moise and Rob. But still Moise and Rob are also getting the access. Now let's go ahead and add the Active Directory back. Again, I will go to external identity source. So I will just close this session, click on Active Directory and click on add. And now it should be Sysible. Okay, it was Sysible and Sysible.com. Click on submit and it will ask me to join again. So basically, when you do the CLI, again, you have to do the GUI. So you have to remove that one and rejoin your Active Directory to work perfectly. So username will be administrator and the password will be voice123# and click on OK. So that's how it's been added. So now I can go ahead and add the groups again. But for now, we do not require it because we have now secured our GUI as well as the CLI also. So if I go back to my admin access, and here you see that by default, it is taking the authentication method as the internal. So if you want to go back to the Active Directory now, you can select the Active Directory this time. So the same admin user, super user can verify the password with respect to the Active Directory. All right, so that should be good now. So this is how you're going to secure your GUI as well as the CLI. I hope this was informative and thank you.